Today on Yeti at Large, we're going to be talking about living on your preps. It's been 5 months now that I've been living with no income stream and just working off of what I have put away and savings. Let's get some firewood loaded for the house and I'll meet you back inside.
Hi, and welcome to Yeti at Large. This is a channel focused on making the most out of what you have, no matter where you're at. Thanks for tuning in and helping out.
I will tell you the most important thing you can prepare is a heart like a lion and an abundant amount of dedication to the people that you love. Make sure that you have some space for you and your family where nobody can detract from that, and that you're protecting the sanctuary, the joy of what you have. Whether you meditate, pray, or just knock on the sky and listen to it ring. So when we first started this channel, I told you that I was entering a period where I was potentially re-entering the job market. And I've been out of work for the last 5 months now. It's amazing how fast it's gone by. But a big part of that focus, where the channel came from, was a perfect laboratory for that opportunity to test yourself, utilize your inventory, your preparedness, and to learn a whole lot about what it is that you're doing right, some improvement opportunities, and some of the different things that I would do differently. So the winter's here. It's cold outside. We got our Christmas lights up yesterday. We uploaded a short for that. You go to the channel and check that out. But now that we're in this place and we've had 5 months of hard data, I'd sure like to talk about all of it. Let me finish loading this wood and we'll go take a look at the pantry. So, taking a look at the pantry, I've been living off of this and what I have out in the freezers. I've got a couple of other smaller pantries and then a lot of beverages in the closet. For the last 5 months, I've been living off of the pantry, the freezer, and now that it's wintertime, off of my wood stores. I also have quite a bit of fuel, propane and gasoline, that I've been rotating. Some of the lessons I've learned right off the bat is the things you think you're going to use a lot of, the canned goods, the flour, those kinds of staples, it just doesn't seem that I utilize those as much as I probably should have or as I've wanted to. Other things that have gone very quickly, the frozen meat and the frozen cheese, those will always go very fast. Now, I haven't been engaged in full-time work in the last 5 months. I haven't even picked up any side hustles, which is rare for me. And as such, you would think I'd have a lot of time on my hands to bake at home, make bread, tortillas, crackers, stuff like that. But life got in the way, and I've been very busy. I've had a lot of demands on my time, and a lot of them have been all over the state. So I've actually been traveling quite a bit, which makes it real hard to live on your preparedness items. Top things that I've stored that I'm the happiest about: cooking oil, baking supplies, spices and seasonings, dried and candied fruits and vegetables. I have utilized the daylights out of my dried fruits: cherries, blueberries, cranberries, apricots, mangoes, pineapple, apple. It's been awesome, and really, made the most out of that. I do not have enough frozen meat, and if the freezers go down, then I'm utilizing the generator to run those. We haven't had anything but a couple of real brief power outages, which again is common in this area. Most power outages last a few minutes to a couple of hours. It's been 2 years since I've had one go longer than a day. And only a couple of minor cell phone internet outages, which seems to happen when everybody's up here when the weather's nice, or they're up here for the snow, and the systems become overloaded. Dog food has held out really well. I keep several bags of dog food and Chewies and TREATS. So we've done pretty good with that. We also inventory quite a bit of over-the-counter medications, things that you could buy without a prescription, antibiotics for a fish tank, stuff like that. You make your own decisions about how you want to use that stuff. But I'm prepared to address minor medical issues with the pets and family members. We haven't had any personal medical issues yet that required that attention, but that stuff has an incredibly long shelf, so it's nice to have it on board. it has allowed me to reduce my monthly expenditures down by quite a bit. Let me go get my notes. We'll come back and set back up again. So I crunched some numbers earlier today, and I got my notes here. I want to share some stuff with you. Now, I'm using my preps. I'm living the life right now. The most likely reason that you're going to need to go into your preparedness is a job loss, and that can have a couple of angles: health reasons, economics, and or a natural disaster, weather, interruption of regular utility services, being isolated. Job loss could last much, much longer than the weather issues, but again, those are the likely reasons, and that's why my grandparents would have been prepared. Furthermore, it goes to the old proverb, is that a penny saved is a penny earned. And they would go through and can and preserve and raise chickens and pigs, and that kind of stuff, to have all that, because they didn't have the money to buy it at the store. I love the story of Dwight D. Eisenhower. He was one of 6 boys, I think, middle one. And his father, they were from Kansas area. They were not a wealthy family, and he gave each one of the boys a small piece of land of which to grow a garden and to sell the fruit from the garden, the results of the garden. It was all part of contributing. So one of the greatest American presidents that we've had, a man who viciously could wage peace throughout his entire public safety career, we'll do a video on that downrange, was a prepper. And that's just good common sense. Again, we're not necessarily preparing for the zombie apocalypse, nuclear war, the breakdown of society, although if we have it all and we're in a better shape, luck does tend to favor the prepared. Every time I sit on the couch, Agnes wants to know if it's close to mealtime. I have to use coded words. So here's the thing though, being prepared, being a prepper, comes down to money. It always comes down to money. And how you manage your money and the choices that you make have a lot to do with that. Now, I know there's a lot of people on my channel from the Ninja Nation, and he's a great example of economic forecasting and wise habits. Penny saved is a penny earned kind of thing. So I did some math to figure out exactly how much money it took to run the household in that 5 months, how much money I spent, all coming out of savings, by the way. I keep a pretty healthy rainy day fund. I need to know that I can continue to pay the bills at the house should I have a health issue or an injury or experience an interruption in work. And I'm fortunate in a position of life where I've been able to parse down some of the bills that I used to experience every month. Now, if you have small children in the house, you're going to have bills that I don't have right now. I'm an empty nester, so after 20-something years of buying kids cars and braces and school and trips and sports and clothes and food and medical bills, I don't experience a whole lot of that anymore. So that is partially helpful for me. So my numbers may seem unrealistically low to you, outrageously low. They're honest. I'm going to be very fair. And a lot of that comes down to the choices that I make, where I live, and what I need to be happy. And what I need to be happy is a close connection with my family, and I extend that out to my neighbors in my neighborhood here. I have a great little neighborhood I live in. So in the last 5 months, including paying the bills, I'm projecting forward into December. I've paid the December bills. I spent $7,897. That's an average of $1,597.40 a month that I've been doling out. Now, I have a small mortgage at a great rate. This house is getting close to being paid off. It's a tiny little place, but my monthly mortgage, I used to pay way over $2,200 a month, trying to beat that mortgage down to get rid of the interest so that the overall cost of the house is much cheaper. But since I've experienced an interruption in work, I'm paying only the bare minimum on the mortgage. That's $925 a month. Internet, $65. Electricity, I have been averaging $40 a month for the last 5 months in electricity. It's cold now, so the temptation to turn on electric heaters and it's getting dark soon, so lights more, that's going to go up inevitably. But I've proven to myself for 5 months I could run on $40 a month worth of electricity. That's been helpful for a lot of reasons. My water bill, again, $25 a month. That may seem outrageously low. I've lived in areas up here where that same bill would have been $180 a month. But we live on a closed circuit water system here, and very blessed with that. And I have good water storage on property. Water is life, and it's utterly critical. Cell phone, $60. Vehicle insurance, I have 2 vehicles, $95, both paid for. I have no car payments. Gas, that's the actual fuel that goes into the truck. I've been doing a lot of traveling lately. That's been $202 a month I'm averaging on that. Shouldn't be that high, but that's another issue. And I've only been budgeting $30 a month for groceries. Excuse me, $30 a week for groceries. I've been forcing myself to utilize what I have here and traveling with a lot of food between, we have a couple of small properties that we stay at. But I've been traveling with a lot of food and really trying to live off those preps. The number one thing that you can do, stay out of a restaurant unless you work there, bring your own coffee, travel with snacks and food so when you do get hungry, it resists the urge to pull into a drive-through. One trip for 3 people into a drive-through, and that's my entire weekly budget. So the interesting thing is, though, that comes out to under $1,500 a month that I budgeted for myself, but I've been spending more than that. The total gap there over the 5 months is $752, averaging about $150 a month that I've been blowing over my budget. Now, if I needed to, I could get this a lot tighter if things got real critical, but I've had kids on the move. I've tried to support them with some stuff. I've had some optional bills, some shipping, birthdays, that kind of stuff, and I've been splurging. I will tell you that. So, interesting set of notes that I'm able to share with you. And again, if you think those are low, believe me, if you have a rent, I know a lot of people for a 1-bedroom apartment are paying $1,700 a month plus utilities. I've been there. I've had giant mortgages and I've had horrible rents. But I found this place. It was a bank-owned home. It's tiny. It was in horrible shape. And I've done a mountain of work, the term sweat equity, to get it to where I want it to be today. And I forego a lot of things. I drive old vehicles. I build a lot of what I need. I make do with what I have. I repair clothes. Doesn't mean I'm walking around in rags with a vehicle I don't trust. I take very good care of my stuff, and I have a high standard of living. But I'm happy with that. So, 5 months into my prep run here and using my stuff, one of the first things that I know I need to do is a thorough inventory and a reorganization of all of the pantries. I've shown you the closet I have here with a lot of canned and dry goods. I have a lot of pastas, tea, coffee, powdered items in the other one, and then the closet in the bedroom is full of beverages. You may have good water storage, but I inventory a lot of beer, some rum, some bourbon, some tequila, boxed wine. I inventory a lot of soda pop, seltzer water, coconut water, other fun drinks that may be hard to get or become cost prohibitive. Since this has started, I may have a glass of wine a night, 5 days a week. I may have a beer once in a blue moon. I have a tequila. But I also know, I wished I had a couple cartons of cigarettes in my pantry. I can't stand cigarettes. I think they're disgusting. I hate tobacco in general. I'd hate feeling like a sucker to a big tobacco company using their product. But that stuff's better than gold, better than money, if it does become prohibitive to trade things. Now we're just going into winter. It's going to be interesting. I've got 2.5 cords of good hardwoods, sustainably harvested. If you haven't seen those videos, please go back to the channel and take a look on that. I very much realize I'm missing a lot of items on here. Would you please leave a comment down below, ask questions. Let's start a dialogue here. I would love for people to ask specific numbers if I've made a couple of calculation math errors. If you have questions about the pantry, the firewood, the vehicles, any of that kind of stuff, please, I'd sure love to develop this 5-month run rate. We're going to do another one of these probably at a year or when I return to the job market, and I want to talk about budgeting. But I'll tell you, the number one thing you can do, and shame on me, I haven't picked up a single side hustle in 5 months. I've been dealing with a lot of extended family issues, health issues, and logistical items. We're going to talk about all those later, but I'm not comfortable sharing a lot of that yet while it's still playing out. So I want to thank you so much, though. I'm so grateful for this little community, 650 subscribers at the time this was recorded, with just under 60,000 views. Next video I'm going to upload is going to be the sophomore curse of YouTubing and talk about some of the things I've learned there. Thank you so much for being a part of this, and we'll see you on the next one. You don't care about any of this, do you? You just want din din.